What's up, guys? So today we're driving around in a 1996 300zx. This is our buddy Calvin's car. If you all don't know Calvin, he's got the blue 240. You should know him because we do a ton of videos with him. So today we're driving his 300Z. This car is absolutely awesome. It sits super low. I feel like I'm driving an exotic. You get some cool looks while you're driving around because some people know, some people don't know, and it just kind of catches your eye. A lot of people think it's a Lamborghini. We're going to be doing a review of this car today. It's an NA VG. They did come in the twin turbo models, and this is also an automatic, but we can tell you maybe about the plans for this later. I believe Calvin's disclosed the information about what the plan is for this car.
This is like the perfect setting for this car, like sunset, kind of a cool day. Take the tops off.
Alright, so as you guys can tell from the title of this video, this is pretty much the poor man's Lamborghini. If you want those looks, obviously you don't have the same power as a V12, but you do have the V6, which is that VG motor that we were talking about. And these can actually make some pretty good power. Obviously they had that twin turbo model. This car makes probably around 230, maybe with its age, like 220, 200 maybe. And that twin turbo model should have made around 300. So being a 300Z, I think it probably would have been more marked up to that 300 at that twin turbo model. Now this car is literally just perfect. It rides super smooth. We're riding around on the Teen, or Tine, however you say it, Flex Z coilovers, and they feel really good. They really got the car super low and gave it a great stance. It fits really well. If you guys remember, Calvin is running the RPF 1s that he custom painted for the 240 with the white outside with the black barrel. Those are on this car, and those are wrapped in the Federal RSRs. And this meat just grips. You can really hear the tires, like, you just hear that tire noise a lot. But that's no problem. As soon as this has like an exhaust on it, that won't be an issue at all. I really like this cockpit here. It gives you kind of that fighter jet feel with these kind of gauges, or not gauges, but like controls right here around the gauge cluster. And I don't know, I really like that. I also like how simple this wheel is. The steering wheel, that is. It's just got the nice clean Z right in the middle, only a couple buttons, and then everything else is clean. Really just a nice touch to keep the car simple kind of all the way around. It does look like it came with a Bose system. I don't know if that works anymore. I know he's got an aftermarket head unit, so I'm not sure if it still is going through those Bose speakers, but coming from 95 or 96, like,
that was a turkey!
Dude, a turkey just ran out in front of us. Oh my god. I've had deer run out in front of me. That was a turkey. But those Flex Z's kept us nice and tight, and those RSRs kept us in grip, ripping around that turkey.
Dude, that was fun. I'm so glad we got that on camera.
Also, this car does have T-tops, as you can see right here is open. We got the tops off today. Perfect night for it. It's a very cool day. It's just perfect for just cruising around. Even though this car is auto, just because Calvin already had plans for it, it's perfect that he found this one because he got it for a great deal, and it's T-tops. Like, no one has T-tops anymore. That's super cool. We're gonna hit this corner at probably like 40. A little bit of rubbing, but it feels very planted. Oh, there's a bump. There's a bump. That felt great. I think what I love the most about this car is just that kind of 90s styling it has. It's different. It's kind of really nice and round. It's super wide for like a stock car. If you guys were wondering, Calvin's actually repainting the bumper that was on the car for those of you that kind of have been following the build. So that's why it's got the stock one on today. I didn't mat it because I feel uncomfortable matting it in someone's car, but that wasn't bad. It gets up, and honestly, for what he's got planned for this car, it's not something that it has to be fast right now. It just gets you from point A to point B looking really good. I also love the kind of candy red this car is painted in. Reminds me a lot of the 240 when I first saw it, and it's just a beautiful color. I think those like kind of deeper, darker reds are something that are kind of coming back. I see Ford kind of bringing them back every once in a while. but it's just a good deep color versus that race red that really gets in your face. For stock seats, these are actually pretty comfortable. They just need a little bit of a reupholstery. But other than that, they're perfect. They hold you in actually pretty well for stock. As far as like space goes in the car, it actually holds a pretty good amount. Calvin actually just picked up a compressor that was sitting right where Jordan is, and it fit in the car. He had the tops also kind of poked through, and you have a decent amount of trunk space as well. So it ain't even bad for, I think, what they consider this to be like a grand touring car, just like more like a luxury vehicle, I think it said. So for a luxury vehicle, it's pretty dang nice.
I think it's funny that back in the day they considered this like a luxury sports car or whatever.
Yeah.
And now today it's just like, oh, it's a tuner car. Like you do whatever you want with it.
Everyone, like, I don't think anyone would pick one up as like, oh, I just picked up a new luxury vehicle. Like, people don't look at it like that anymore. It's just a little Japanese like sports car. I feel like a baller.
That's like the best way to describe it. Yeah.
Give it that big Vin Diesel grip, lean back a little bit, and just balling. I love and hate getting in and out of this car because you look at it and you're like, yeah, it's low, but that shouldn't be too bad. And then you go to get in it.
It's like, wow.
And you're just like, you're like kind of really squatting, you're trying to fall into the car, and you're like still going, still going, still going. Then you're like kind of just drop in, and you're like, still felt like another 3 feet. I don't know. It's not obviously that much, but like, it's crazy how far down you go just to get into this car. And for Calvin being as tall as he is, I'm surprised that, like, I don't know. Obviously it's his daily, so he gets in and out of it a lot.
If you guys have never met him in real life, he's like, I'm 6'1", and he's maybe what, like 6'4" or something?
Probably.
A little bit taller than me. But
he's a tall, skinny man.
Just driving this thing, hopping down in it.
It's so funny that he's such a tall guy and he has like such low, small cars. I was told though that this does guzzle the gas, so but that's, I guess, one downside. The motor that he's throwing in it, I don't know if that'll do any better or not. I don't know. Maybe if it wasn't so low.
Oh god. Oh, just a whole bunch of groaning trying to get into this car.
Oh god. Oh jeez.
No. Yeah, if you've never been in a car with these types of seatbelts, and actually the 240 is different. The seatbelts
I love the
slide
240
back,
ones,
which is really cool.
Because you could actually leave that plugged in and it actually wouldn't be in your way too much.
Yeah. Or wait, no, they don't slide. Yes, they do slide. And then they come, but you have to pick it up from right here. They stand down here, and then you got to pull them up to the top.
At least on Calvin's, yeah. Yeah. Because he disconnects them.
This is not the first time I've driven this car, but it is the first time I've driven the car while I had the new wheels and the coilovers, so obviously, like what we were talking about, this thing handles like a beaut. Steering is really heavy, which most people actually like that. I consider it that I love it. We've done so many fun things. Back when it was snowing, when he picked it up in February, this was actually his drift car.
We drifted it
for the winter. Honestly, it was not that bad in the snow. He just had basic tires and he got around. He never got stuck in this. He did get stuck in his BMW E36 all the time, and I had to go pick him up, get the tow rope out and tow him out. This, never really a problem. So Calvin picked this car up back in February of this year for a price so good that we can't even talk about it on camera. Just know it was a very good price finding a car like this that was completely stock, which cars like this, tuner cars, are super hard to find that are not modified. So if you can find one that's not modified and for a good price, definitely go ahead and pick that up.
Especially ones that are like valued like this. Like, this isn't just a normal random tuner car. This is one that people actually want. And yeah, it's all these rocks. Yeah. It's crazy that he was able to get it for such a good price. And for the little minor problem, I think it was like leaking coolant when he got it, and he fixed that. Yeah, and now it runs like a dream.
So what's kind of cool is the last couple months Calvin's been working on a different 300zx that was in his garage, same color, but the guy had a built motor in it, a couple other different things, and looking at those cars side by side, this one completely stock and the other one modified pretty heavily. It was cool seeing a car that would have came off the lot back in the day looking like this, and then something that you could turn it into. So honestly, this is one of the best platforms of cars that you could pick up yourself and just have fun with. You can do any motor swap, you can do any setup that you want to on this thing. and just still have a great day. The area that we do all of our car reviews in, we pretty much just send all the cars that we do down the same road. That way every experience that we have with each car is based on the same road, so we have the same type of like gauging of how the cars feel. And I can tell you that this car, out of all of them so far, has been the best handling car that we've driven yet. The car does sit really low to the ground, so with having this setup, you're definitely gonna have to like watch out for holes in the road. But other than that, it's really not that bad to drive, and especially the way it's set up now with the auto, it's literally just the best cruiser that you could have. Just two-door cruiser, hatchback.
What else can you want?
That's all you need. 90s car.
Yeah.
One main reason why we call this the poor man's Lamborghini. First reason, obviously, it kind of looks like a Lamborghini. Second, the headlight housings on these cars are shared with, I believe, the Diablo. They kind of just stole their headlights. They didn't really steal them, they kind of bought it out, but the Lamborghini Diablo came with these exact headlight housings, and that's why kind of the front end looks the same. It kind of has the same shape as a Lamborghini.
I don't know if any of you guys follow Rob Dom, but actually when he has a Lamborghini Diablo, and when he had to get his headlight replaced, he got one from a Nissan 300zx. So it just shows you how it literally, they're like compatible.
I think interchangeable parts are really cool when you have like a tuner car like this, which back in the day came off the lot like maybe 40 to 50 grand.
Yeah.
Compared to a car that came off the lot that's a few hundred grand. And just having interchangeable parts, I think that's really cool.
That's pretty sweet.
And a lot of the bigger companies like that will buy out parts from smaller companies because they're just much cheaper to make, and just throw them in whatever exotic car that you have, and it works.
Also, Calvin did just get some tint put on this car. I've actually, besides both of Adam's cars, his Directs and his STI, I don't really drive around in any cars that are tinted, and the feeling of kind of being more encased is kind of really just a different feeling. I like how, especially if we had the tops on, and it's like a hot, like sunny day, you'd be more like in a little cool bubble, which we don't really experience that in ours.
One thing that I really wish that we grew up with was having this car back in the day when it first came out.
Yeah.
Because could you just imagine driving like this car to high school? Like this would be the ultimate car back in the 90s.
Can you just imagine
to just drive to high school?
Like going to Nissan and seeing 300s and 240s like on the lot. That's like, that's something I think I'll always kind of miss, of never being able to see, because I feel like I go to lots of dealerships today, and like all the generic dealerships like Nissan, Toyota, Honda, all those places, all you see is like don't get offended, but like boring cars. Especially like Nissan today, they have like, besides the 370 and the GTR, there's nothing cool, and they barely ever have those at the dealerships I go to. I don't know, I just wish I lived in that time period where you could see actual cool performance cars at the dealerships.
Alright, I want to give a huge thank you to Calvin for letting us take this car out. Obviously, if you're not subscribed to him, go over there for your Nissan content. He's always doing something crazy. Huge thank you to him for letting us take out his second baby. Obviously maybe one day the 240.
It's the #1 right now because the 240 is down. This car is definitely a gem. If you are into older Nissans, this is definitely one to put on your bucket list of trying to get, because it handles really nice with the way this is lightly modified with this setup. So definitely looking to pick one up if you have the means.
If you guys aren't subscribed, please make sure to go hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out
and stay wicked. Get it?